Hey guys, one more time on the video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday evening. Spurs losing 1-0 in the Europa League first leg. I was about to call it the second leg there, but first leg in what might be, and obviously you always got to keep it PG because of YouTube and everything like that. What might be the most miserable, most pathetic performance I've potentially ever witnessed in 29 years of being a Spurs fan. And there was a lot of bad times in those 29 years. A lot of bad times. A lot of bad times even recently, even before Ange. You know, the miserable performances against Milan under Conte. I remember those ones being absolutely horrific. And, you know, they always stand out. But, you know, I remember not winning away from home under Pochettino for over a year in the Premier League before him getting sacked. You know, I remember getting beaten by 6 and 7s and 8s under, you know, AVB and Sherwood and all that lot. This is up there. And you think it's only 1-0, Andy. How is it up there? Well, I can tell you why it's up there. There's a lot of reasons to why it is up there. And I'm going to put this out here and say, because I think there's a lot of Twitter fans who say Levy out and they put a real effort into that. And I really respect them. But in the same breath, what's the first thing to do when we don't win is all right, we're targeting the manager. Too many times, I'm going to say this now, too many times we have allowed too many of these players to get away with blue murder. They have a poor performance. I'm expecting to see gutted about the first half of this tie. We're going to go again in the second leg. We look forward to Sunday. I'm waiting for those posts to come out from the club. You know, they're going to wheel out, no, and this is going to sound really mean, they're going to wheel out the same stupid and sorry excuses in front of the camera. Oh, I haven't got a mic in front of me. Pretend this is a mic. Yeah, no, it's a really tough performance. You know, I'm gutted for the fans. You know, they deserve better than this, and and it's all the same crap every single time. We deserve better than this. Then go out and show it. I don't know. Maybe it's a revolutionary idea that, if you think we deserve better than the stuff that you're giving us, go out there and give us what we deserve. We have got fans who have traveled hundreds and hundreds of miles to this game. There's fans in Holland right now have traveled hundreds of miles to this game. And that's what they got served up in person. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting what they give us and what they serve to us on a plate. And, right now, you can't sit there and truly say that, well, that's on Daniel Levy. And that's ironic for once. Don't get wrong, maybe another centre-half would have helped. I did feel for Archie Gray. In the first half, he struggled a little bit in the first half. He was getting skinned a lot and he was struggling. Second half, much better. In real essence, let's be real. The tactics weren't good enough. They weren't. And Ange has to hold some serious blame for tonight. But I'm not going to put it all on his plate. And if you put it all on his plate, I think that's super lazy of you. I think it's really, really lazy of you. Are we going to allow players who have been here years, by the way, players that are playing for contracts, by the way, throw out an absolute utmost crazy stinker? Let's go through the team. I'm going to start with the one positive that I think of the whole team. Vicario, another solid performance from Vicario again. The goal's not his fault. It's a sliced own goal that goes over his head. What's he supposed to do? He's not 12 foot tall, right? He made good saves. He was decent enough with the ball. Not putting any blame on him whatsoever. The back four, Destia Doggy, not at the races today. Jed Spence, I thought, didn't play well today. There was a couple of times, we dribbled past a guy, but, caught out of position defensively a few times. First half, I'm not going to put the first half all on like a singular player, but he was just as part of the problem as anyone else was in the first half. Like I said, Archie, I thought Archie wasn't good in the first half. Second half, he was much better, but the first half wasn't good enough. I thought Danso, wasn't great with the ball, but this is a thing when we when we're told in the sort of footballing world that centre backs can play both sides. I don't think they can. There's some that can, absolutely. There's some that can. Kevin Danso is not one of those. Kevin Danso is a right centre back, And he struggled. He struggled. But I thought defensively he was solid. The midfield, obviously Bergvall and Bentancur's defensive awareness is really poor. It's really, really poor. Caught out of position so many times. I'm going to come to it in a minute because I have got some serious things to say about Son. I watched us on a counter attack. And you got Son on the ball. Destiny's going on the overlap. You got Maddison charging up there as well. So Son has got 3 options: slide it to Destiny, slide it inside to Maddison, or try and beat the player and have a shot. He picks the third option, hits it straight at the defender. It sums up his day. I then watch Son half-ass his tracking back of the guy. The guy's blocked the shot and ran on, and then sort of run onto the wall and ran off with it. Son took the shot, half-ass his tracking back. I then watched him travel about 50 yards with the ball, nobody near him. Now, I don't know about you, but you can't put that on Ange and Daniel Levy. You might have to put that one on the players making crap decisions and not working hard enough. Right? Now, Ange's tactics weren't good. I'm not denying that. And so many people on Twitter went and they got angry about it because I said, right, putting this game on another manager. We won 3 away games in Europe knockouts in 18. 3 in 18 before Ange, before this game, right? So that includes Conte, Mourinho, Poch, you name it, it includes them. I think it includes Poch at least. I'm pretty sure it does. There is a serious issue. It stems from the top. I'm not denying it. I'm not going to put this game tonight on Daniel Levy. And I think if you are, you're a bit lazy. And I don't like him. Okay. But I'm putting that on manager. And I'm putting that on players. I saw all over Twitter, you know, I blame Ange. The players haven't stepped up. I blame Ange. The players haven't put enough effort in. But they're blaming Ange. It's like, but you can't say one thing and then literally in the next 6 words say the absolute opposite. Now, I am not the sharpest tool in the box. I am not the brightest colouring pencil in your pencil case. But I'm not an idiot. I can understand English. You can't say one thing and then literally contradict yourself and say something completely different in the same manner that does not aid the first part of that message. I saw all over Twitter tonight. It was lazy takes. I think it's reactionary takes. For the most part. But these are people that have platforms. There's a lot of people out there that have platforms on Twitter tonight. And that's what that's why I don't go on Twitter very much. I don't have a following on Twitter because I'm not on there enough. But there's a reason. Because it's a cesspit of crap. That's what it is, you know. But moving into the rest of the team, Bentancur's playing for a contract. Awful today. By the way, the other thing is, these players last played on the 26th of February. I just turned 29, right? I am now 9 days into my 30th year. We've played once before tonight. They've played 3 times in that time. And we looked like a team who had just played yesterday. Now, are they running marathons in training? Are they doing Ironmans in training? I don't know what's happening, but they should have been crucifying AZ Alkmaar from back to front. I mean, the amount of times I saw people going, AZ Alkmaar are going to sit back on us. It's like, okay, look at the stats, right? And to give you the stats, Spurs had 62% possession. It's not that they're sitting back. It's they're waiting to pounce. Spurs get to a certain point of the pitch and then they go and they press you and they win it. That's not sitting back. That's luring in traps, right? They lured in traps. They were ready. You know, if Maddison got the ball and his back was to them, they were on him. You saw it today. Maddison got kicked pillar to post in the first half. But I thought, you know, Lucas, Bergvall and Bentancur's defensive work, shocking. Maddison, what that free kick was, that's a vice captain and captain doing the absolute worst free kick I've ever seen. Now, You might think the Lucas Bergvall own goal was the sort of most embarrassing out of this game. It wasn't. It was that free kick. We're 23, maybe 24 yards out. Prime time to shoot from a free kick. We play a pass. Son can't play a 5-yard pass back to him. And we basically might as well just kick it out for a goal kick and just restart. You know, I talk about Rodrigo Bentancur playing for a contract. Let's be real. Heung-Min Son is playing for a contract. Now, the stats so far this season, 20 goal contributions. It looks solid. But tonight, for him, he has no excuses. He's had 8 days rest. Well, 8 days, whatever it was. He's had a week's rest. Let's just call it a week. He's had a week's rest. And I saw no sprints from Son. I saw no real energy. Doesn't work. Johnson, awful. That was maybe Johnson's worst performance. Defensive work rate, awful. Attacking work rate, awful. Link up play, awful. Stupid fouls and just gave it away when we're on the tackle. Gave it away when we could pin them into the corners and win the ball high. Awful. Just awful. And Tell, I felt for Tell tonight. He's not back to a goal player. And because our midfield could not, for some reason, pass a ball forwards, he was unfortunately suffering. And I actually thought his hold-up play was actually pretty decent. But unfortunately, as a striker, if you have to run graveyard shifts, you're going to have to run graveyard shifts. Even when Slanky came on, even when Son was up front, it was all a graveyard shift to them. Odebear off the bench. I don't know. I'm going to give him time, and I'm still going to give him time, but not good enough off the bench. I feel for Mikey Moore. Some reason Johnson and Son are untouchable and never get substituted when they're some of the worst players on the pitch. It was an awful performance tonight. It was absolutely embarrassing. Now, look, yes, the tie is not over. I'm gonna find some positives in this. They should have probably won by more than one. Ajax are 1-up against Frankfurt, by the way. They're obviously the tie that we would face in the next round. The tie is not over. And to think the tie is over is I think, a lapse. And it's reactionary. But if those boys don't turn up on Sunday and kick the living crap out of Bournemouth, we've got issues. We have got issues. And the issue is, I don't just want to see a reaction on Sunday. Don't give it to me once. Don't give me the we beat Bournemouth 4-0 kind of performance. And it wouldn't shock me if we get that, by the way, right? Don't give me that performance because it just shows you can do it. You can fight and scrap and play for wins and play for, genuine important games. That was 6th in the Eredivisie, by the way. That was 6th in the Eredivisie. We lost 1-0, right? And had we lost to him 2-1, it can happen. If you lost 2-1, but you're in the game, you try and you're creating loads of chances and they get a couple of fluky goals, it can happen. But it's the fact they won 1-0, right? They've kept a clean sheet against us. We had one shot on target in 90 minutes. I mean, don't get me wrong. The ref's crap. The linesman crap. The linesman flagged for a free kick for a shoulder barge, which was like, okay, so football's now a non-contact sport. I like it. Don't know when that changed, though. Someone must have brought that rule in when I wasn't looking because that's new to me. But I'm not going to blame them because that's lazy. You blame the manager and you blame the players. All of them are at fault. All of them should make their own way back from Holland tonight. They should all pay for those fans having to sit in that stand. They should all refund them that ticket and refund them the travel costs. Because I tell you what, those fans turned up. I could at least hear them once. And if I heard them once, that's turning up more than those players did. The only one that can come back and sit on that plane and not have any embarrassment is Vic. The rest of them, make your own way home. All of you, make your own way home. Vic, get on the plane, not a problem. All good. The others, find your own way home. It's an embarrassment. You're all an embarrassment. You all are. Every single one of those players that played today. Okay, all embarrassing. I mean, it's like we were too timid. We were too slow with the ball. It was like touch, touch, pass. And it was like, okay, well, you've wasted 5 seconds. AZ have, shifted their players over to that side of the pitch. And it's like, but it's also like, it's the poor touch as well. The amount of times I see Spence, the ball comes down, poor touch. Pape needs a couple of touches. It's like, it's killing me. It's absolutely killing me. The poor technical ability at times of these players. One thing I will say is going to put it out now. If you are a person that is going to blame Ange for the Slanky injury, please just leave my channel. I have no issues not having you here because I am expecting to see someone go, Solanke's been rushed back from injury. I'm expecting to see it. And I'm worried for some IQs if I do see it. Okay. I'm glad I was watching a Pat McAfee show before this because at least it was a good vibe. But look, in reality, looking at some of these players today, look at the lineups. Vicario, Destiny, Danso, Gray, Spence, Madison, Bentancur, Bergval, Son, Tell, Johnson. We didn't rotate very much, did we? I mean, Davies is injured, so that's your main two centre-halves. That's your starting keeper. That's your starting left-back. And, well, your right-back has been featuring left and right. That's your starting midfield at the moment. And that's your starting front three. So that is in theory, right now, due to injuries, Spurs' strongest team. I know Romero, I know Mickey, and I knew about Solanke. What I'm saying is they're not fit. This is the strongest team we have. And they just put out that shower of crap. I am buzzing. I am buzzing to see the crap that's going to come out from the club over the next 12 hours. It's a combination of things, but we'll analyze it and have a look at the areas where we struggle with. But it's fair to say, yeah, it was nowhere near the level it needed to be. That's coming out from the press conference as we're speaking. Sorry, I was just reading something. I've missed loads of your comments. I really am sorry that I have missed your comments. I'm not ignoring you. I think you're all probably singing from the same hymn sheet that I'm singing from as we speak right now. But one thing I would say is we do need to be careful here. When I said today, what was it today or was it on Tuesday when I did my preview? I said, look, this is a massive game. It is. Next week genuinely feels like the biggest European game we've had since 2019. And it's in the first round of a knockouts in the Europa League. I mean, again, now including tonight, 3 wins in 19 away fixtures in European knockout football. Hence why I've said, not good enough for Manchester. We've had this rest. We should be better. But what I would say is those players have to hold some blame tonight. And not having them hold blame is a problem in this fan base. We're too quick to say Levy. We're too quick to say Ange. What about senior international players? Desi Adoghi is a left back at Italy. Vicario is the second keeper at Italy. He's better than Donnarumma. All right, I'll always stand by that and be firm with that. Jed Spence, Okay. Archie Gray, England under 21 international. Danso, Austrian. Rodrigo Bentancur is a senior Uruguayan international footballer. Bergval's still quite young, obviously, in international football terms. Maddison's played for England. Johnson's regular for Wales. Son is a regular for South Korea. Obviously, Tell French under 21. So you've got some senior international footballers that performed an almighty stinker tonight. So when I said, for example, about players like Bentancur, make him earn that contract. We've killed Basuma, right? We've killed Basuma. Basuma stays fit. Basuma at least can play football for us. Bentancur's missed loads of time. People have gone, sell Romero. He misses too much time. What about Rodrigo Bentancur? I must be missing something. Maybe he does play and he's just a ghost on the pitch. He needs to earn this contract. I don't want to see in the next few weeks Rodrigo Bentancur signs a new long-term contract. I'll be fuming. I will be fuming if he does. Leave it till the summer. That's my attitude now. You leave it till the summer. You say, pause this. We're going to revisit this in the summer. And if his performance levels haven't drastically stepped up, because remember, when it comes to contracts, you're not rewarding them on the play that you see now. The idea is if I give you a 3-year deal, for the next 3 years, I want to see you at that level. We're not doing this. New contract, down. It's the issue with Adebayor. Played up to the contract, got the contract, dipped. We want to see consistent quality performances across the board. Don't see it. But yeah, I need to see that from Bentancur now. I need to see that from him. If people are saying that about Basuma, I'll have it about Bentancur as well. Let's be fair. Let's be consistent across the board. Both of them now need to show. Because I tell you what, if Basuma, to the end of the season, is the Basuma that we got at the start of last season, he is more deserving of a new deal. You may hate to hear that, but it's factual. Because you look at the injury record and you look at the suspension record, tell me which one has been around longer. Sorry, more often. English does fail me, apparently. And I don't think Basuma should be here next season either, by the way. I'm not saying that he should be. It's just a comparison between the two because they are in the same position. 1 year left on their deal when it comes to the summer. I think you sell both of them. You move them on, and you just scrap it and you go again. But Jesus Christ, did we need some steel in that midfield today? We needed someone to hit someone. Not Bentancur barking at the referee for his booking, who he now misses the second leg, by the way. So again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Bentancur. We had injury issues in January, wasn't it? And then he picked up a stupid booking in the 95th minute. Was it against Wolves or something? Misses the next game. We're already down 10 odd players tonight at that game. And then Bentancur gets the booking for another game. And it's like, you can't trust him. I'm sorry, you can't. I love him I think on his day, he's our best midfielder, but you cannot trust him because his day comes as much as the sun comes in England. Once a week, at max, it comes. And that day that he's having, that he's an absolute stormer, is probably in training because we don't see it at the weekend or on Thursday nights. And let's be real tonight. Let's be real. Pedro Porro was our best fullback tonight. He was. Defensively got caught out way less compared to the other two. The other two were flying into tackles and getting nowhere near the ball. And that's Spence. I think Spence has been brilliant, by the way. He deserves an England call-up. And it's okay to say, hey, mate, I think you had a bad game today. It happens to us all. He wasn't at fault for the reason that we conceded, because obviously that's just a freak own goal. It happens. But they were getting in behind Spence. They were causing Spence issues, just as they were Destiny and Doggy. But I didn't see anyone call out Spence tonight, and it was very interesting. They called out everyone else for poor performances, but Spence was left untouched. Spence wasn't good enough today. He wasn't. And that's okay. You're allowed to say that. You're not abusing the player. You're not, victimizing it and singling out a player to say, hey, mate, you weren't good enough today. He was good. But today he wasn't good enough because defensively they were getting in behind him. I saw them getting in behind him quite a few times, especially in that first half. In that first half, especially, they were getting in behind our fullbacks with relative ease. Now, look, could the midfield be defensively a bit more aware? Yeah, that would help. That would help. I'm not going to deny that wouldn't help. But fortunately, that's not Bergvall and Bentancur's game. We don't have a true six. Basuma, not a true six. Sarr, not a true six. Bentancur, Bergvall, not a true six. The irony is maybe it's Archie Gray. Okay, we've not seen it, so I'm going to say maybe for now. Maybe it's Archie Gray. But we don't have fit centre backs. Now, look, Davies is near back. I would expect Davies to be back within the next week. Well, it's Spurs. Davies will be back in about 3 months' time, no doubt, even though he's only having a small little issue. Kulusevski, I know he's got this ankle foot thing. I'll expect to see him in about 3 years' time. Because we get told 2 weeks and then it ends up being 3 months. So I'm expecting to not see Kulu until next season now. Even though he doesn't need surgery. He's been told doesn't need surgery. We'll see him after the international break. Okay, well, that's next season. We'll see him after an international break next season. But we don't have sixes in this team. But also those eights that we have are not defensively aware enough at times. Look, Bergvall's great with the ball. I love Bergvall. I think he's going to be an absolute rock star. But today I watched him and Bentancur look at the ball and watch them pass around them for fun. And I'm like... And I did a video a little while ago. I think it was probably a couple of months ago. Maybe even actually last year. And I said... Because people go, oh, can you imagine Moussa Dembele? Oh, Gareth Bale, Harry Kane. And I said, do you know who the player we miss most? It's Victor Wanyama. And people thought I was a bit mad. I'm looking like an absolute genius for once on one thing. I'm an idiot for most things, but I'm looking at a genius, and that's one thing. Victor could kick someone. He can get in the way. Good in the air. He was good enough on the ball, but he was defensively sound and he wanted to defend. We don't have players that want to defend. I think maybe that's our issue. We've got a bunch of players that go, ooh, opposition's goal. Ooh. And then we go, mate, what about that way? And they go, oh, I don't want to do that. Ooh, opposition goal. It's like, mate, but the ball's 35 yards. But ooh, opposition. No, it's like, you're killing me. You're all killing me. So look, the tie is not over. It's the first half. We've done the first half of this tie. Okay, that's how it's worked out. We go into the second leg at home, 1-0 down, right? You can turn that around. A good 5 minutes and you're 2-1 up, right? So I'm not going to say we're out. And to say you're out, you're very reactionary. You'd have a sleep on it. You wake up and go, okay, yeah, we're obviously not out of this tie, but we do need to play better. And you'd be right. And you'd be spot on. And nobody would deny you that. But one thing I would say is, if this weekend at Bournemouth, we do not turn up like a house on fire and kick the crap out of them and win well. I'm not going to say we have to win like 6-0, but win well. Even if it's 2-0, fine. You've won well. And we better turn up to AZ Alkmaar and kick the crap out of them as well. I want to see some anger from this squad because I tell you what, they are going to be pulled pillar to post and they're going to be absolutely not abused, but they're going to be attacked for what they've just put out there on that pitch. I mean, like I said, you have got players who have travelled, not players, sorry. You have got you have got, sorry, I was reading something. You've got a situation on your hand now. Next Thursday, right? So we play at 8 o'clock, so we'll be 30 minutes in the first half. You could have a situation, the season's now potentially done after Fulham. Because what I'm talking about is obviously you still could fight for European spots, right? You could. And technically, I'm right. Until the numbers tell me I'm not, I'm technically right. But I tell you what, if we, in the next 3 games, maybe we draw, right? We get 3 draws. So we're out of the Europa League and we've drawn those 2 games. The season might be done, and I think Ange might be done with it. And we need to be careful with this. I'm not saying I'm Ange out whatsoever because I want to try and back him. I like the human side of him. I'm still very much angry towards the above people. I'm angry towards these players. Hence why I've religiously said that we now need a clearing up. We now need to just exodus loads of these players. Exodus loads of them. Okay. And there will be decisions in there which, if the higher ups were a little bit more competent, financially aren't going to be great. You're going to have to make losses on some players. Arsenal have done it. Man City have done it. Chelsea have done it. Man United have done it. Liverpool have done it. You know, the other big 5 in the big 6 who go, we make loads of money anyway. Let's take a loss. You have to take a loss every now and then. You can't win everything. Take a loss every now and then. But we won't do that. We'll go, oh, yeah, but if we hope and we hope well, maybe like Johnson and maybe this guy, and if they do well, we'll make a few more extra quid out of them. It's like, take the loss, move on, get them gone. And I'm not saying it's Johnson. That was the first name that came into my mind. Frankfurt 1-0. God, I could be talking about that game next week and it won't matter. But for now, it technically still does. But yeah, 1-0 on that tie. We look, we need I don't swear on this channel. You know I don't swear. And, you know, some of your comments come in, they've got swear words in them. I try and, you know, just tweak it. We need an effing massive couple of weeks. Like a massive couple of weeks now. Sunday. If they turn up even 1% like they did in this game on Sunday, if those players get booed off the pitch and the song that gets sung, you're not fit to wear the shirt, it would be a fitting song to win. Sing, sorry. Because a lot of players out there right now are not fit to wear that shirt. Maybe that's harsh. Maybe that's mean. But I think it's maybe somewhat warranted now. For too long, a lot of these players have gotten away with blue murder. They've gotten away with, oh, I won't sprint back on this one. I'll sprint back on the next one. I watch Arsenal. If Arsenal get counted on, pretty much every player is absolutely rocketing back to their own goal to defend. Liverpool are the best at it. You can pinch the ball off Liverpool, and before you know it, they've swarmed. Man City did it for years. They press you high, you get past the press, they rocket back at you. The 2 teams of the big 6 that don't do that, Man United and Spurs, look where they're in the league. It's effort. Effort will always beat tactics, in my opinion. Oh, we've got great tactics, but if the players aren't putting the effort, don't make a difference. Now, irony is tonight, we had crap tactics and we had crap player effort, and it's like, well, that's a cocktail of absolute disaster. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening. I think I'm going to stick maybe that Ajax Frankfurt game on. It's 1-0 at the moment. Maybe I'll stick that game on, kick my feet up. Might even have a drink. Might even have a drink and treat myself. I know. But tomorrow is a new day. We will discuss the Bournemouth preview. So today, try and not let Spurs ruin it for you. All right. Kick your feet up. Watch another game of football. You know, do that. Do something else. Go annoy your dog or something. I don't know. Something like that. And I'll be back tomorrow. Just got a small Spurs. Take care, everyone. Look after yourself. Peace.